Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Redlands Rundown, your podcast for college, career, and everything in between. We're joined today with my friend, Dana Hunka, who is Assistant Director of Registrar's Office, I believe is your title, and then also your committee head of the Student Events Committee.
Correct.
Okay. Yes. So what we really wanted to talk about today is what we have here to offer at Redlands for our students as far as what events we do. So I first just want to talk to you a little bit about maybe can you introduce yourself and share some of your roles here at the college?
Sure. So like Sydney said, I am the assistant registrar here at Redlands. I also am the coordinator for student activities. I also serve on our staff association board. And I also am a member of the employee events committee.
Yes, so you do a little bit of all of it. I think sometimes maybe our students don't realize all the different things that kind of shape the college experience, and I think you do a really good job of trying to put those events out there for them. And so how did you get involved in planning student events?
I was just asked.
Duties as assigned?
I think President Marr came to my boss, Holly, and just asked if I would be interested in doing it. And I said, sure.
Yeah.
And the rest is kind of history.
Yeah. I think you've been a great advocate for it because like I said, I don't think our students realize all the time all the different things that happen here on campus, but they also don't realize the behind the scenes of it and what goes into it. Just off the top of your head, what would you say you enjoy the most about working with college students, specifically here at Redlands?
So I think that college is such an important season of life for someone. You're kind of going through a lot.
Yeah.
Not really. It doesn't really matter what phase of life you're in.
Yeah.
Because it's just so important regardless. And so I just love being able to support students and serve students during that journey for them.
Yeah.
And I think serving on the student events committee, you really can kind of have fun because it's a fun committee. It's not super uptight. It's really laid back, and we try to make our events really appealing for college students and make it fun. So we get to have fun with them, and it kind of helps take some of the pressure off of the stress that can kind of come with being a college student. And I think it's good for the students to kind of be able to see us doing that for them. Because I know it can be kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
I know it is intimidating, right? Yeah. Whether you're fresh out of high school coming to college or you're, later in life college student.
Right.
I know it can be intimidating coming to a college campus, not knowing anyone. And I've been really blessed with having a great student events committee. Everyone participates, and we're all very much here for the students, and we're all kind of all hands on deck.
Yeah.
So I've been really fortunate in that aspect.
Yeah. I think college really is one of the most formative times of our life. And like you said, regardless of if that's coming right out of high school or if you go back later in life or if you just start later in life, it's a time that you probably either make some of the most important connections or you are discovering, what am I going to do for the rest of ever, essentially, which is really intimidating. And like you said, I think, I even look back on working with my college professors and being like, oh my God, this is so scary. And now I teach college classes, and I'm the least scary person alive. And so I'm like, oh, okay, this is what I needed. I needed to be able to humanize it. And I think the Student Events Committee does a great job of that.
Well, I think also, they don't always know what they want to do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to have those we do have those conversations with them at student events to let them know, hey, you're not alone. I was there.
Yeah.
At one time, we all were, and so, it's okay if you don't know what you're going to do.
Right.
But hey, you're here and you showed up.
Yeah. I always think about you telling me whenever Macy came by and told you guys, yeah, I think I changed my major 3 times the first week. And knowing Macy now, you're like, no way. But it's such a, not even a unique experience, but it feels unique in the time that you're having it. And then you realize, oh, no one knows exactly what's going on here, which is really nice.
You're the only one in that boat, and you're not.
No. And I feel like at those student events, you get to meet other people that you're like, oh, okay, you're also lost, or you're also in this major, or whatever it might be, and kind of get to bond in that way.
Yeah.
So speaking of those events, what are some of the main types of student events that we put on throughout the year?
So we do have a recurring event that we try to do every month. We try to do a coffee bar. Now we're not always able to do that. It just kind of depends on what's going on that month. The months that we have breaks, it's kind of hard to fit in 2 events because I do try to do 2 events, per month because I just think it's so important for the students to see our presence and that, we're here to serve them.
Yeah.
And so, like, the more we can be out there doing something, whether it's a small event or a big event, I just think that's super important. And so a coffee bar is kind of like a more low-key, easy event that we can kind of put together.
Yeah.
And the students love it.
Right.
You know, we get a really good response from it. So that's like one of the main ones. We do a lot of this like similar events year to year.
Yeah.
I do try to change up little parts of them as far as like what food I'm going to do, maybe the location. And I always try to do like a little fun like spin on words.
Yeah.
You know, it's cheesy and it's corny, but hey, it gets people's attention.
I appreciate a pun.
I do too.
Yeah.
I love them. So that's, I would say like coffee bars is probably like the main thing that we kind of do on a regular basis.
And I think that's the thing also that maybe students don't realize is that all of those events, whatever we're providing, is free to them.
Yes. So that was one thing I was actually going to mention because we get that question a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand like college is not cheap.
Yeah.
So you think that you have to pay for everything. And for the most part, that's probably true. Right. But when it comes to student activities, it is not like everything is always 100% free for students. And so I think that's one good thing for them to know. Like, if you see us standing out there, like we're here for you and it's always free.
Right. Unless you want to give us a tip. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. What are some of the annual or maybe signature events that students can look forward to every year?
So like our welcome week and our welcome back week, that is the events that we do the first week of the fall and spring semester. So we don't do any events during the summer semester because, well, it's just the student body number is a little bit lower.
Right.
We just don't have as many students on campus. But so we do our welcome week and we do an event every day, not every day, I guess, but Monday through Thursday because Friday, we don't have classes.
Right.
So we try to do something, I try to do like a breakfast option on one day, a drink option on another day, a lunch option, try to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then kind of same concept for the spring, except we call it welcome back week, but same concept as far as like what we're going to offer. But I do try to switch up the food option or the drink option. And then I would say like our signature event is probably the President's Pancake Dinner. I love the President's Pancake Dinner. I just think it's such a cool event.
Yeah.
Because it's a time where our administration kind of gets to serve the student. And so, and employees,
Right.
hosted by student events and employee events committees. So, I just think it's really cool that they come out there and they serve the students. And it's kind of like a congratulatory event, like, hey, you made it here. It's right for graduation, and which is like obviously why we're here.
Yeah. Well,
Like everyone is here. And so that's probably like one of my favorite events is the pancake dinner.
Right. And what people may not know about that is most of the time in previous years, at least, the administration is who makes even the pancake dinner.
They do. We are going to switch it up a little bit this year.
Right.
But yes, that has always been the tradition where they make the food. It's hot though.
Yeah. It's hot. And cooking outside
It's not ideal.
No. As far as getting our students involved, what would you say from maybe the perspective of both being a student in the past and also being someone who works here now? Why is it so important for students to attend campus events?
So I think it's just a great way for students to kind of get out of the classroom and maybe help build some relationships, putting faces with staff members. They might get an email from me as the assistant registrar. But then when they see me at a student event, they're like, oh,
Right.
Yeah. And so I think it's just kind of cool for them to see like, oh, that's not all they do. They do this too. But also I think it helps just to kind of remove some of the pressure of being a college student.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously we want all of our students to come to all events, but so I think I also just think it's a great way for students to kind of get out of their dorms, get out of the classroom, go and have some fun and let off a little steam.
I think it also can really build that sense of belonging. Like you talked about, putting faces to names, figuring out who's who can I go to if this happens, but also it just really ties you back into the community and the college. And I think also you like you said, you can network, you can make those friendships, and I think that is really helpful in college because a lot of the time when we start, we're really lost on who we are, what we're doing. We maybe just came from a group of friends that are now at different colleges, and so being able to go to those events and start trying to form that is really helpful.
I also think that students really like when we learn their names.
Yeah.
And so because we are a smaller school, we have that opportunity to do that where we can call them by their first name. They're like, oh, you know who I am?
Yeah.
And so it does give that sense of community and like family.
It's funny that you said that because I had a really, not like a negative experience, but one time, one of my previous coworkers and I were walking across campus, and one of these students walked by and we were like, hey, so-and-so, and they turned and they were like, how do you know my name? And I was like, I'm never calling anyone by their name.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm not a stalker. Like, I swear, I just, like, we've met before, but you don't remember me. And so I do think they appreciate it, but also now I'm really cautious about, like, should I say it? As far as that goes, still kind of on the same hand, what would you say to students who maybe feel shy or just unsure about joining us at those events?
I know it's intimidating for them, especially because there's so many of us. And to them, we're grown-ups.
Yeah, adult.
Yeah. So, like, I know they get super standoffish, especially if we're doing a giveaway.
Yeah.
Because, they don't want to sign their name on anything.
Yeah.
They're like, what am
They don't want us to know it.
Where are you putting my information? So we do try to tell them, like, we're not going to put your information out anywhere. I promise we're just going to draw it out of here and you'll win a gift card.
Right.
Come with a friend. I don't really have a great answer for that other than just to show up and try it and know that we're not going to charge you anything.
Right.
It's not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do.
Right.
But we do try to, whatever it is that we're offering, we try to make it where it's appealing to everyone.
Yeah.
So, just show up, I guess.
It's really hard, and I think that's something that I always tell my students when they do go to events or workshops or whatever it might be, because my friend and I always joke when I'm planning events, he's like, you wouldn't have gone to any of these. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't have. And so it means a lot to me when students are brave enough and they want to get involved in it, because it's not that I didn't want to, I was scared to.
I can really relate to it because I'm by nature an introvert. So, I'm totally that way too.
Yeah.
But the longer I've been here and the more involved I've been, I've kind of gotten out of that a little.
Yeah.
So I think it just takes taking that first step.
Yeah.
Even though it's scary and you're unsure about what's going to happen. I know whenever we're over in the Ray Porter building right there in front of Cougar Corner, as soon as they come in, we're all like, hi.
Yeah.
And, and I'm they're all like, especially on the first day of fall, when they're brand new. Spring's a little different.
Right, because they're like, oh, it's these people.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we have to. But first day of fall, especially, they all are and they're just so stressed about where to go.
Right.
Which is another, I guess, point I can make. Usually on the first day of each semester, I try to have my laptop out there because a lot of students don't know where to go.
Right.
They may not have their schedule, or they're thumbing through their phone trying to find it, and they are stressed. And so I try to have that out there because I can look it up really quick, print it off for them, and it goes to our office, and I can just go and grab it for them. And we usually will walk them to their class. And I think that also just kind of helps to ease some of the pressure and the anxiety that just comes with starting something new.
Yeah.
So
we're nice people, basically. So we'll try. Yeah. On kind of behind the scenes, or I guess fully behind the scenes, could you maybe tell us a little bit about what goes into planning an event from start to finish?
Oh dear. Okay. A lot.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it because I'm a planner by nature. I do try to plan out the events for the entire year.
Yeah.
Which is a big bite to take,
Yeah.
But so I would say from start to finish is just trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing month to month, because I don't want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Month to month. So I try to switch it up a little bit. And I also have to think about cost,
Mhm.
availability. So once I figure out, okay, I want to do a coffee bar this month and then I want to offer lunch, then I have to figure out, okay, well, what kind of lunch do I want to offer? As I could do pizza and it costs this much, or I could do, I don't know, hamburger or whatever, and it costs this much. Okay, are we going to make them or are we going to order them? So those are all like things I have to kind of weigh.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's less costs if we make it, but then if we make it, that's more time.
Mhm.
So I also have to take into account everyone's time. And sometimes it's just worth spending a little bit more
Yeah.
if it's going to make it more convenient for
Right.
committee. So once I kind of figure out, okay, this is what I want to do, I have to like look at the calendar. And then I have to reserve an area here on campus of where we want to host it at. Then I have to contact vendors, place orders if I'm ordering like some lunch or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then if it's a bigger event, I do like to have a sit down meeting with my committee and sort of like delegate duties and just kind of let them know, okay, here's my idea.
Right.
And we kind of just brainstorm together. And then I will, usually like the week before, sometimes the week of, I'll go and do like my shopping and do all of that, whatever we need for that event. And then I also make all of our graphics that get sent out, and then that can take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And then on the day of the event, usually it takes, depending on what the event is, usually it takes about 30 minutes to an hour to set up, and then not quite that long to clean up, but usually about half an hour. So, that's a lot.
What I would really like everyone to know is, just as a reminder, this is not your full-time job.
No.
Yeah. This is like an added side bonus for you.
It's like a little side hobby.
Right. Yeah. A side quest. How do you decide what kind of events to host every semester?
So I do reuse a lot of my events that I mean, when I first started off, it was like starting from scratch. I kind of looked at what was done before. I think events are done so differently now that I literally just had to kind of start from square one, and I had to learn. I've learned as I go. And I try to incorporate new events each year, but I do kind of have my staples. So I just have to kind of weigh month to month what's going on already around campus. So, and I try to switch it up. I don't like to do the same thing.
Right.
Like, do I always do welcome week? Yes, I do. But
You do it differently every day.
I think last year we offered like muffins one day, and so like we didn't do that this year. So that kind of thing. So I kind of just stick to my staples.
Yeah.
And just like tweak them just a little bit.
It's really hard because on one hand, it's like, well, I know this went really well, and so I want to do it again. But how do I do it in a way that is like stays fresh and is something different for every student to experience?
And I think we can accomplish that by switching up just those little things. And, our students change from year to year. So, I mean, I know we do have some here that are here for like a couple years, some longer, and that's okay. So that's how I kind of change, or I might change the location.
Right.
Last year I did it in the conference center, so this year I'm going to do it in the student center or whatever. So,
how do you make sure that your events appeal to a wide variety of students?
Food.
Yes.
So I always say to my committee, like, if you feed them, they will come.
Yes.
And they're college students. Most college students, don't have a ton of money.
Right.
And so like they're just looking for food, and they do like the giveaways. Not everyone, but most everyone does. So I really do base my events around food. Like, what kind of beverage or food option am I going to offer?
Yeah.
And then that's how I kind of will shape my event and kind of like the vibe of it.
Yeah.
It is kind of hard because obviously, I mean, I'm a female, so like, I'm like, oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, none of the male students would want to come to that.
I think also, which I'm 26, but I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so fun. And then I'm like, is that an old lady thing? Like, because
I really do struggle with that because I am older-ish. And compared to a college student, I am old enough to be their mother. So like, it's fine. I've accepted it. So it's probably one of the main things I struggled when I first started doing this the most.
Yeah.
Like, when we play music at events, I would pick one of the younger committee like, "Play your music," because they're not gonna wanna listen to my essay. Like, things now, like, that kinda stuff, I don't wear here. The graphics,
Yeah.
I'm really, like, on that when I'm making them. I'm like, "Does this look like an old lady made it?" But I always get so many compliments that I never do, and from young people that are younger than me, and see, I'm like, "Okay, so I'm doing okay."
I'm cool. Yeah. Yeah. I know whenever we had the student come on that did his interview on here, one of the things he said was like, "We're young. We, like, wanna go outside." And I was like, "Oh, you're like, you can still bend your knees," is what you're trying to say to me. Like, got it. Okay. Understood. Speaking of students, though, is there ever an opportunity for them maybe to, like, bring their ideas for events to life?
I mean, I would love that. I have been trying to figure out ways to get more involvement
Yeah.
from the students on, like, our side of it.
Mhm.
It's just been kinda hard to execute,
Yeah.
getting a hold of, like, which students,
Right.
like, how do I know who to contact? So, I was actually approached, just a little while ago,
Mm.
about involving our student ambassadors,
Yeah.
and which I love
Mhm.
the idea, and so I think that is something we are going to try and accomplish next year, is involving our student ambassadors, which I just think it's gonna be so cool, like, seeing students serve students.
Yeah.
And plus, it'll probably be less intimidating
Yeah.
for, like, our new students that are coming in
Mm.
to see, like, "Oh, those are my people."
Right. Those are not the grown-ups.
Those are not the adults.
Souls grown up.
Like, I mean, I know they're adults.
Right. Right. What has been your favorite event to plan so far, would you say?
You know, I love them all.
Yeah.
I pour my heart into all of
Yeah.
them, so it's hard to choose just one.
Mhm.
I mean, Welcome Week and Welcome Back Week are probably some of my most favorite ones because I can really get kinda creative with them. My most memorable event, I would say, so a couple years ago, we did, a solar eclipse
Yeah.
event, and it was like a last minute
Mhm.
thing that I was approached with, and, uh, our science department was able to get us the glasses, and so I think that was my first year doing it, so I wasn't really sure what to expect,
Right.
and I think we had, like, I wanna say, like, 150 to
Yeah.
200 glasses, and we ran out,
Crazy.
and so it was, like, something that is just etched in my memory, right, because I had never seen that many students, like,
Yeah.
at an event,
Yeah.
and it was just so awesome to see, like, our whole front lawn full of students, and I don't students probably don't realize this, but, like, how much we love seeing them on campus. I mean, like, that is why we're here.
Right.
So, like, that was just so awesome to see. I mean, I hated that we ran out. It was, like, such a good problem to have.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember because I had just started working here during that, and I remember, like, everyone passing around their glasses so that you could switch off and see it,
Yeah.
and it was really cool because I am sure the students do know this, but we don't always get a huge turnout.
We don't, and that's kind of like that just kinda comes along with it because of schedules and whatnot, and, like, it's hard on this side of things to know, "All right, this day of the week, not a good week." We've learned that this year,
You're right.
but, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
Next year, we'll do it differently,
Right.
and that's okay.
Would you say that you have had an event that you had, like, a huge turnout at other than the one that you just mentioned?
So, yeah, I think it was last year at our welcome week, we offered Raising Cane's.
Yeah.
And we ran out of chicken, like, in the first hour. I mean, it was stressful, don't get me wrong. I was like, "Oh, no, what am I gonna do?" But thankfully, we got plenty of places here in town that offer chicken, and, I just ran and got some more. It was a good problem.
Right.
Um, and another one this year was when we offered nothing bundt cakes.
Yeah.
Listen, they will come for some nothing bundt cakes. I mean, everybody will. Yeah, but, I think we ran out, like, within 30 minutes.
Right.
So, I would say those are we always have a good turnout at our pre-finals frenzy because we offer Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Last year, it was really fun because we had, like, a little game set up, and I wasn't really sure if they would go for it, but they really loved it.
Yeah, it is always just really fun and very rewarding when they do show up and they are entertained and, like, you're like, "Okay, you wanna be here."
It just makes it all worthwhile, like, it is a lot of work, a lot of time goes into it, and So it's just awesome for me, like just to see them show up and to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And they're always so appreciative and thankful whenever we're there. So I love seeing them show up for things. But those are probably the ones, those are kind of our staple events too. And so it's kind of cool that they show up for that too. So our events information is always sent out through their student email.
Okay.
It's always posted on social media, the website, and then if you're here on campus, it's on our monitors. But I would say primarily, like, it will always go out in your email.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of flyers. I kind of have gotten away with posting flyers around campus, but we do post a couple over in housing for students that go in and out of housing. So
yeah. So check your email.
I
feel like I say that. I know that if the students are listening to this, they're like, this lady is so hateful. Because I'm always like, check your email.
Yeah.
I'm begging you, check your email.
You need to like change the subject of the email, like open this and you get a prize.
Yeah.
The sun face. That way they see.
Yeah.
Okay, they saw it.
They're gonna think it's spam. I'm afraid they're gonna. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Do you have any new or upcoming events that you're excited about?
Yeah, so we're finishing out the year. So I think for March, we have our tassel time, which is for our graduates. And so we have that on March the 11th. And then at the end of March on the 26th, we have a coffee bar. And then in April, we have our pre-finals frenzy where we'll do the Chick-fil-A sandwiches. And then I think our last coffee bar is in April. And then we're going to finish out the year with our president's pancake dinner, and then of course graduation.
Yes.
And I would love it if more students came to graduation.
Yeah.
That aren't graduating.
Right.
Because it's just such a fun event, and it is our biggest event of the year, and it is a lot of work, but it's just rewarding to see. And it's cool, like when you serve in this capacity, to be able to see them walk across the stage.
Yeah.
And so it kind of comes full circle.
Yeah. I always remember, I think it would have been last year, that graduation was my first set of students that like I had when I first started here that came in and then graduated. And it was really cool to get to watch them because you do get to, I know it's not a super long time, but there's at least a handful of them that you get to make a special connection with and really get to know and then get to see them accomplish this thing that they've been planning on doing and wanting to do and walk across the stage. So I think they also really appreciate it when their friends are there.
Yeah, definitely.
Like friends and family celebrating them too. So,
and I also think that like associate's degrees can be kind of minimized.
Yeah.
But people need to understand that like it is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like it took work and it took discipline to do it. And so everyone should be celebrated whenever any type of
right.
Yeah.
There is no small feat when it comes to college. And it's something else that, like, your knowledge can never be taken from you. And so being able to do that and accomplish that, that's yours forever. And I think that's such a huge thing.
Absolutely.
What advice would you give students who are wanting to get more involved? Just do it.
Just show up.
Nike. Just do it. Do it.
Yeah, I mean, that just kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier. I know it's like kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
I think once you just start doing it,
it gets easier.
We do have like the same students, like our faithful students that will come to every single event. And I'm sure they were nervous in the beginning. They tend to kind of come in groups, which is great.
Right.
It's like whenever we know when nursing gets out, because they all come together, which we love.
Right.
We love that they all come over there, but they do all kind of come in a herd together.
Yeah. Which is like the best because you get rid of more stuff.
Yes. I'm like, here, take it home.
Yeah. Have it. What's one event that you think every student should attend before graduating?
That's so hard. Probably the pancake dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think because like everyone's in the same room.
Yeah.
So like students can kind of eat with, their instructors or with President Barr or with each other too.
Yeah.
And so I just think that that's cool just to have everyone in the same room. And it's like at the end of the year. So it's like, we all did it.
Right.
We made it.
Thank God. Yeah. I do think that goes back to like that humanizing thing that we were talking about, because I do think that's at least one of the activities or events that we have here on campus where it probably feels a little bit weird, but then you're like, oh, you're just a person too. Like I'm sitting here across from you eating my pancakes or whatever it is, and I'm realizing you're also just a human, and that's really nice.
On your shirt too.
Yes. Good to know.
Good to know.
Well, thank you so much for being here and giving us just kind of a behind the scenes look and also reminding us and our students of how many opportunities we have to get connected on campus. And if you're listening and you have not been to an event yet, you have heard it here from the source herself that we have lots of different opportunities for you to get involved. And you never know what you might find out when you do it. So, well, thanks for listening. And you can find us on all the platforms that you listen to your podcast. And we will see you next time. Bye, guys.